Listen, I'm not going to hold y'all long at all because I'm about to actually head out to this event. But I just wanted to come in real quick to say, win out loud, baby. You got to win out loud. Some blessings you cannot hide. As you elevate, as you rise, as you achieve your goals, as you reach that point that you've always aspired to in your life, the higher you go, you're going to have people that don't feel comfortable with that. It's not going to rest easy with them. They're going to see your ascension and look at you like something is wrong. Like you doing something wrong by just being you. By just accepting those blessings that have been bestowed upon you. Yo, some people, we're just destined to win. If you believe that, you can be destined to win too. And I've said this before on my page, yo, that if you don't like to see me win, if you don't like to see people win in general, this page is not for you. You got to go. Because it's only one way up, and that's up, yo. That's the only direction I'm going is up. I find it interesting, though, because as you guys know, I am very close to getting my license to practice psychology independently, right, here in New York State. And I have this schedule set up as I'm preparing to take this licensure exam in several weeks, where I go to the library every Sunday to take a full-length practice exam, right? So last Sunday I went there and I took an exam and I passed the practice exam, right, for this licensure test that I'm going to take. And of course I shared my results, because I'm actually documenting my progress. I've documented my journey from day one when I entered my doctoral program, right? So I find it funny. It's funny, but at the same time, like, it's a bit disturbing because I feel bad for people who look at other people in disdain and disgust when you see them rising to the top. You see that they have accomplished something in life, right? Like, I can never understand the mind of that person. I mean, I can, because they're not happy with their own lives, right? They're not in a position in their lives where they feel comfortable, they feel happy and successful. So what do? You try to pull the next person down. And when I say I can't really understand, because I've never been in that position. Even when I would say that I was at rock bottom, and I've been there, I've always looked to people who were successful, who had achieved great things in life. I look to those people as motivation. Always been inspired by those people. Like, you have to create a healthy mindset. So when I shared my results of my passing score for the practice exam that I took last Sunday, someone commented on my post and said, "Oh, congratulations, good for you, but post less and win. Just win, like, in silence," essentially. That's what she was saying. She's like, post less. You know, I had to block that negativity because I don't do that over here. That's one thing I like about social media, is that you get to control, first and foremost, what content that you put out there, and also who gets to see that content, who gets to interact with you based on the content that you post. Listen, I'm here for me, and for me first and foremost, right? When I share my journey and my experience with you guys, listen, that's a bonus. You said you can't understand it either. Like, I don't understand how people, like, it just gets underneath their skin to see other people thriving and winning, and for her to say that, I'm just like, who says that? So I had to click on her page because I'm curious to see, like, okay, she's giving me advice, telling me that I should not post my win. She was like, just go out and win. You don't have to post it. So I had to click on her profile, and I'm seeing where she's posting her different travel excavations that she's been on. I'm like, okay, you're traveling and you're having fun, you're enjoying life, right? That's a win when people travel, because a lot of people can't afford to travel, right? So I'm like, okay, you're sharing parts of your life, but you're telling me not to share mine? Like, to me, that makes no sense, but I get it. I get it. It's like people are jealous. People are insecure. Like, they don't want to see other people winning. And there's this saying that says that people don't want to see other people doing better than them. I find it disturbing, and I find it sad and disappointing, because I know where I've come from. I know that I've been in a place in my life where I did not have anything. Like, I've been up and I've been down. And thinking back to where I've come from and all the shit that I've had to go through and I'm still going through, like, for people to be envious of my success is very hurtful. I don't know why my video is chopping up. But to me, that is very hurtful because I'm just like, if anything, you want people to be proud of you, to root for you. And in fact, most people on that post actually congratulated me and they, you know, were rooting for me and proud of me because a lot of people, especially who follow my page, my fan page on Facebook, Danny's World, like, they know my journey. You know, they see me out there struggling. And some people know me in real life and they know, like, yo, this girl, she has been through so much. A lot of stuff I don't share here online. Even if I did, it wouldn't even make a difference. People will still hate. I look at other people, other content creators, other black people who are rising, you know, and they've overcome so many obstacles. And I'm looking at, like, people commenting, like, negativity in their comment section, just spewing hate. And I'm like, how can this person hate on this black person who's overcome so much? They are a representation that, yo, if they did it, you can too. If anything, you should be inspired by that, not hate. I made a video about this before, how you have men that hate on black women, right? And the difficulty sometimes that black women, successful black women face, I'm talking about, like, very high achieving black women, well over 6 figures, into the 7 figures. And it's difficult sometimes for black women to be partnered. Not that they don't have any options necessarily. The options are there. It's just like sometimes black women are, to that caliber, are very picky. They just have zero tolerance. The very little tolerance for, like, nonsense and bullshit, right? And so I was speaking to that in a video that I was making when I was living back in Los Angeles. And I remember a few men commented, not the majority, but there was a few men who commented, and one man said, oh, I don't like it how black women feel they got to harm when they accomplish basic things. And he gave examples of the basic things, like getting an apartment or getting a new car or buying a house. It was like, that's things that you should be doing anyway. And I had to pause because you guys know that for me, race is very, very salient, right? The issues, the racial oppression that negatively impacts the black community, that's very salient in my worldview. So I get that other people, obviously, it's not salient for them, right? So they look at that, they look at the world, you know, the society as a equal playing field for black people and white people. They don't see that there are racial disparities, right? They don't see that there's racial oppression, as racism and institutional and structural racism. So they make comments like that as if black people don't have it harder than other races, right? They make comments like that as if, like, they themselves are not black, right? Like, they don't see race. So I just find that interesting because knowing the things that black people have gone through, are to continue to go through, right? That to me irks me for a person to say something like that. It is an accomplishment for a black person to buy a home. It's an accomplishment for anyone to buy a home, for that matter. Like, irrespective of race, you just look at people saving money, right? And being responsible with their finances and going out and buying homes, no matter the race. Like, that is a major accomplishment. Especially if the house is really nice, right? And then they invested a lot of money into this home. Like, most people celebrate when they buy homes. I'm like, what is it about the black community that we can't celebrate each other? Like, you're talking about, that's a whole nother level of self-hatred right there. I'm proud of you. Keep pushing and sharing. You encourage me, so keep going. Yes, like, I'm going to do that regardless because I feel like that is my duty. I was doing that when, I was on rock bottom. I was still like, because I had it in me to, first of all, use my words to inspire myself. Like, I had to motivate myself to pull myself up by my own bootstraps. So I would take to social media just, like, sharing inspirational quotes when I was on rock bottom, right? When I have nothing, when I was homeless. Yes, I have been homeless. Yes, I've been panhandling. I've been there. I know what it's like to not know where you're going to get your next meal from. right? To not have a roof over your head, to have to go and to shower in public restrooms, and you got people who work at these facilities knocking on the door like, why are you in there for so long? Like, I've been there. So yes, I do take offense to people when they see my success, they see my glory, they see me shining, and they are envious of it. I'm just like, how could you? If anything, knowing all the shit that I've been through, people just have no idea. And it's not even that the shit that, oh, you've been through, is that what you're continuing to go through, right? Because you carry this, you carry these experiences with you. And not only that, like, you're still a black person, right? So if you're aware of race, right? Like I said, race is very salient, and you stand firm in your identity as a black person, which I do, I embrace it. You are aware of these subtle differences. You know, you're aware of how white people have these advantages in life and how they're treated differently than you are, you know, as a black person navigating the world. This is something that you can't ignore. So I find it, it irks my freaking nerves, yo. And my first instinct is to just block those people, because I feel like those people are very miserable, and they don't check themselves. We gotta sometimes slow down and check ourselves. I think we're just so quick to type, to respond, to, you know, to say things in response to what we see on social media, not even thinking that how our words can impact another person, right? I don't need any of that negativity in my spirit at all. Like, I have absolute zero tolerance for that, you know. And yes, I will continue to share. Now, like I said, like, this message is for me first and foremost, but I want to share this with you guys. Like, live out loud, win out loud. You don't have to be ashamed, and there are some blessings that you cannot hide, even if you wanted to, because I get that, yeah, sometimes you do have to move in silence, which I don't share everything. There are a lot of different aspects of my life that I absolutely must keep silent until that time comes, right? Because you know that if it's revealed, then someone can easily sabotage that for you, can easily disrupt that process, right? So yes, there are some things that you have to keep secret, but a lot of blessings, like, listen, it's going to show, right? It's like, you cannot hide it. It's going to show in your face, right? You're walking in this glory and with these blessings that you have earned, that have been bestowed upon you. People see that. People see that you look different. All right, it's like they say, you can't really hide money when you're blessed, when you're prosperous. Like, that's something you cannot hide. You know, you're going to look different, even if you try to dress down and not wear name brand clothing, so to speak. People can tell something is different about you. So I had to get on here and share that. And I just saw this video of a content creator. She just purchased a luxury car, and I'm like, good for you. Like, if she's happy, why would anybody else try to take away from that moment? Like, she's celebrating this, and of course you're gonna have people like, oh, you don't deserve this, and just like projecting their own insecurities onto you. And sometimes that's what we have to, like, be mindful and draw the line and realize, like, this person, these negative comments that this person is saying to you, they're projecting that. That's how they feel about themselves. They don't feel that they're capable. They don't feel that they deserve it, right? So then they're going to try to spoil that experience for you. You know, we only project and share with others how we feel about ourselves. It's a reflection of, you know, who we are and what we feel about ourselves. So with that being said, like, you definitely have to be mindful of your space and just protect that energy, right? Like, appreciate those who do support you, who do celebrate those successes with you. And just be mindful of those people who are envious of that. And not just envious of you, because it's really not about you. It's just about how they feel about themselves. And they kind of project that onto you, unfortunately, you know. And just, yeah, you definitely have to set those boundaries, because if anything, I think is more toxic is you living life. And when you finally reach that point, right, like I said, like, you've always been working very hard to, you finally reach these goals, right, and you got your hand on it, you're able to grasp it. It's nothing more distracting, right? It's nothing more toxic than you allowing outside energy to infiltrate that experience, and then you take away from it, and then you can't even enjoy it. So all that hard work that you put in is like in vain, because now you're at this point. This is the moment that you've been waiting for, and that moment is tainted by this negative energy that you allow to come in, right? So it's a matter of how you perceive this negative energy, because this is bound to happen. Like I said, some blessings you just can't hide, right? So you're going to get people who, for the most part, most people are going to congratulate you. Most people are going to be happy for you and support you in your successes. But then, of course, there's always that bunch, right? It's always that negative energy surrounding you, and you're just like, you think you all of that. You shouldn't be posting that. Why are you always posting these things? It's just like, but they rather you post drama and negativity and you having pity parties every day. They would rather you post that, perhaps, right? Just be mindful of those energies, right? And understand that that's going to be inevitable. Those people are going to be there, and it's how you perceive that energy. If I have control over it, it's not going to be around me, right? Because I can sense it. I can like spot it many miles away. I can't tolerate that, right? But it can be a point in time where, you know, you're not able to control it, right? And it's just going to be there, you know. And at that point, for me, I feel like the people that support me, the people that acknowledge my wins, that appreciate that, they celebrate with me, like that is going to be overpowering, right? I'm like they're going to be magnified so much to the point where I'm not even going to be able to see these other people and be able to feel that negative energy. You know, that's just how it goes. But I had to get on here and share that. I know many of y'all can relate. You've been there, and it's just like, yes, it's sad, and you sometimes want to feel bad for those people, but then you wonder, like, okay, they have successes too. It's like you go to their page and you see, like, okay, they're doing okay, right? Or they have moments when they're doing okay. It's just like, so now is my time. What's wrong? What is wrong? But anyway, it just goes to show the human experience. But on that note, I'm going to wrap this up. Feel free to share your comments below. I'll catch you guys in the next one. It's a beautiful day outside, and I'm loving the drop in temperature here in New York City. Like, it's just like yesterday when I was headed out, I'm like, ooh, I felt the cool breeze. I'm like, this is my favorite season. This is my kind of weather here. So maybe I'll catch you guys later outside here in New York. All right, peace and love.